People are about to make the second biggest purchase they've ever made in their life, and we treat it like it's a doctor's visit. Reply why if you're coming in, if you're not, right? Make it a video, make it an experience. Hey, I want to say thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon. Directions are in the link below. We look forward to seeing you and making this experience as convenient as possible and saving you time, right? Gratitude and thank you so much in advance for sharing your time with me. I know it's important. We're in 2026. Super excited, right? I don't know if you feel that, but it's so electric when you come into this new season and you kind of have an idea. Like you already have clarity, you have a path, you know what you're going to do. And even if you don't have that whole plan geared out, you've got it right in here. You're waking up each day with intention. So thank you again for being here. So on today's talk, this isn't really just your traditional podcast on Driven by Intelligence. This is just me jumping in here, dropping some knowledge as we come into this new year about what leaders really should be asking in 2026. What questions should leaders be asking in 2026? And I'm going to cover some of the things that I hear a lot of leaders asking me, and so I'm going to share it here. But then there's also questions that leaders aren't asking that should be in here. So I think this works both ways for leaders in the dealership that are listening. Even if you're a salesperson, BDC manager, there's something here for you to learn and take away from. So I'm excited. Let's get right into it on how to make this year one of the best ever, but not just focusing on a year. Let's focus on the systems, the habits, the things that we need to bring the highest versions out of ourselves, so then we can also bring the highest version out of our people. Really, that should be one of the ultimate goals we have as coaches and leaders in the game, right? So first thing that I want to kind of get into, the first question that I hear commonly, especially from the newer leaders, but I used to ask this question myself, is what should I actually be looking at in the CRM every day, right? What should I be looking at in the CRM every day? And so as a leader, the number one thing that we should really be focused on is the customers that are going to be coming to us next, right? So as simple as this will be, let me put it in a story, right? So before CRMs, let's get CRMs out, right? So before CRMs, think about as a leader, who should we focus on first, right? So think about, I always talk about that old desk log, I bring it up so much, but before these computers, there used to be this long paper desk log, you know what I'm talking about? That long, wide one, right? It'd be wide across, and it had customers' names, but it would have steps on there. So the managers would have this desk log on their desk. That's where it came from, desk log, But they would have this desk log on their desk, and it would have the name, it would have the date, it would have the vehicle that the customer was looking at. Sound familiar? Very similar to a CRM. But here's what got real cool about the desk log. Your best leaders, what they would do is they would put notes on that desk log. And then the closer the customer got to that road to the sale, which is, there's meet, greet, you got your fact find, your discovery questions, your walk around, your demo drive, right? You got your trade appraisal step that might be in there, your write up, your close, your service walk for those that are doing it, you know what I mean? But the managers would get a pen and they would box in those squares that said, did they do a demo drive? Did they do a trade appraisal? Did they do a write-up? Did they make it to finance? And so the leaders would circle in those little boxes or put X's in them. And then if it delivered, it would say it was delivered. It was done, right? So then each day, right? So I'm going back to my Albuquerque roots, right? Shout out to old Matt McCarty. He used to be doing, I would watch him and Chuck and all them. Me and my boy Casey, and they would have this log and they would call you up there and they'd be reviewing this log. And the log would say, hey, this customer got all the way to a write-up. What happened? Yo, Duran, what happened with this trade-in customer? Hey, what happened with this? Because you want to meet customers where they got to, right? If a customer stopped at the finance part, then we need to call them as leaders to find out what happened. What stopped you, right? So when we come back to what should I be looking at in the CRM, so I'm going to go back from early 2000s to now 2026, we should be looking at the same things, right? Looking at the exact same things in the CRM. We should be starting our day looking at our previous day write-ups. We should be starting our day looking at our previous day trade appraisals. We should be starting our day looking at the customers that got the furthest down the road to the sale. But let me give you a secret. It's not just the people that walked in. Let that sink in. It's not for the people that just showed up. And this is where the leaders are separating in 2026. There's the leader that focuses on what's happening in store, and then there's a leader that's focusing on every opportunity. I'll say it again. There's a leader that focuses on who walks in, who I can actually see, and then there's a leader that says, I'm looking at every opportunity on my desk log, whether it's a phone up, whether it's a walk-in, whether it's an internet, whether it's a service customer, whether it's whoever it is, that's an opportunity to connect with somebody and see if we can get them to the next step and ultimately help them buy their next vehicle. Right? But what happens is when we focus so much on only what we can see, right? When this happens, things seem so slow and so dark inside of a dealership because I've not been in a dealership yet that is flooded with hundreds of customers every single day. And if you're getting that and you're converting them at a 50% closing rate, holler at me because I'm coming to your store. I'm putting the tie on, baby. I'm selling them too. But I've yet to see it. Not on a consistent with a high quality customer with retention. So the traffic is here. It's just where are they at? And this is where in the CRM, we need to quickly and easily identify those people, right? And if you don't know how to identify those people, you can create a report. We can create dashboards. I can have that information come to you. They can, whoever does it. But you need to have the information that matters most in the CRM right in front of you so you can start your day. Question 2, why do good teams still miss appointments? Like, why? What's up with the appointments? Well, I'll say one of the reasons why appointments don't show up, one is there wasn't an established connection to begin with. So there's pressure sometimes on sales teams to get appointments, especially if they're incentivized and their commission is to get the appointment, only get the appointment. You're going to have a lot of missed appointments because the customer felt that, right? But if the culture isn't just get the appointment no matter what, and you're having appointments missed, then it's more like a system, right? After the appointment is set, what are you doing? Right? What video is going to your customer to say gratitude? What messages is going to your customer before the appointment to remind them? But it's done in a way that's not so robotic. It feels warm. It feels good. People are about to make the second biggest purchase they've ever made in their life, and we treat it like it's a doctor's visit. Reply why if you're coming in, if you're not. Right? Make it a video, make it an experience. Hey, I want to say thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon. Directions are in the link below. We look forward to seeing you and making this experience as convenient as possible and saving you time, right? That's that micro moment I preach about and coach about so much because it's the little things. Look at any business that grows and scales. They don't do great at the big things. They do phenomenal at the little things. That's your missed appointments. So as leaders, we take ownership of that because within the CRM, you can easily have this set up as well. So this is just as hot as the last question we asked, but how do I keep up with my missed appointments? Have them present in front of you, either electronically or on a board, and keep up with those appointments from the last 7 days. That's the simplest strategy I can give you. Keep it to where you can see all your appointments and make sure anybody that has not shown up as a leader, you connect with them or you have a solution or a system that is. Next question. What does checking HOTS daily really mean? Okay, so we covered this on the first question, but we're going to go a little bit deeper here. When we talk about what actually checking HOTS daily means, this is within the CRM. So those people, when we come into the CRM and what we should be doing, when we're starting with our hot customers, those customers should be identified as either high priority in some of the CRM. Some of them, it's a button that you push, but they need to be prioritized with some kind of status or a score or a flow. Then as leaders, it needs to be placed where you can easily find these people, right? So then you know exactly who these customers are, what vehicle they're on, and who's your sales rep that's on them. I'm going to give you a bonus tip real quick. If you're one of them people that's listening to this like, man, I ain't got time to be doing that. I'm not trying to get in no CRM. You know what you can do? Have those people bring it to you. There's nothing wrong with them bringing information to you and saying, here's my hot list and let's go over it together. Because as long as it's being interacted in the CRM, the focus of a leader is to help your salespeople get to the next step, whether you call them and log that call in the CRM or they do. But that's the whole point of this, is just having a system that allows people to focus on the right customers when they're starting their day instead of coming into the CRM focusing on completing tasks. Them overdue tasks, you got like 981 tasks, and half of them are birthdays, and the other half are, I don't know, lost follow-up. It's like, man, who's doing that realistically and enjoying doing it? So let's focus on prioritization first, just having some fun, right? Next, what are managers coaching that doesn't move the needle? I actually just posted about this today, but you would probably only know this if you looked at that post today. So I'm going to just say it here. But it was about leaders, and I've been one of these leaders too. So everything that I'm sharing, wherever I'm poking fun of the leader, please know that I was that leader first, okay? I did not come into the game perfect. I came in as a tyrant. But a lot of what managers coach, and then I coached as well at the beginning when we're not leading, we coach on like activity. We need 150 calls. Like that's what I posted today. I need 100 calls. I need 100 calls, but we're not explaining what the 100 calls is going to do. We're not even telling them which 100 that they should connect with. Because what if 100 calls you think makes 5 appointments, because that's what we did as leaders. But what if they could make 20 texts and get 5 appointments? Right? You might be saying, well, they could do 100 and get a bunch more. Come on now. Let's get into 2026 and beyond. The number one form of communication is right here on this thing right here, right? This is not a phone. This is a personal device. That's a personal computer. So when they're on that thing and they're using it, they're texting and they're messaging, but it's just the way that people communicate now, right? But the coaching task, not a good one, right? Telling them to do things without explaining it and asking them questions won't work, right? We're in an environment now that, yes, we have things that we want our teams to do, but we just have to make sure that they're confident in doing what they need to do. I heard a leader tell somebody one time, you need to make 100 calls, 100 calls, 100 calls. I asked the salesperson, I said, has anybody taught you how to make the call that they're telling you to call? Like you're calling equity list. Did anybody tell you how to make the call? No, I've never been trained on that. What? Make somebody make 100 calls and you're just going to give them a script and think they're going to do something with it. Yeah, they might get a few appointments, but you know how much anxiety you get, if you already have fear of the phone and somebody tells you to call a bunch of people that are quote unquote possibly in the market. Come on now. So coach your teams on how to make that call. What should we be coaching our teams on? Coaching them on how to make an impact and engaging with customers. Coaching them on, how to truly connect when they talk on the phone with the customer. What questions are they really asking? A great coach is role-playing with their team right now to get a good understanding of their strengths and weaknesses. Coaching them on their numbers. A good coach is going around asking more questions and telling people what they need to do, right? How should leaders realistically be using AI right now? And I love this one because I enjoy using AI as an assistant way more than I have it using like as a forward-facing thing towards clients, meaning organizing my day. So let's get into what's an example, what's a story of a way that somebody could use AI as a coach. I'll give you a real example. My man, good friend Sam, he's a leader amongst a lot of salespeople. And I remember last year during one of our coaching calls, we were strategizing on how he was using ChatGPT to do some of the one-on-ones, because you can keep, your AI, whether it's Claude, Gemini, whatever, but you can use it to formulate much more efficient one-on-ones. So example, imagine I'm coaching you, all right? And we're going through it. I'm asking you, hey, what's holding you back? What's one thing that could help you get a little bit better today? What could I do for you, right? Well, when I'm done with that, I can easily put those notes right into my AI assistant. Hey, so here's how the call went, or here's how my coaching session went with Ben, right? Boom, 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 boom. And I would probably just talk it in there. Now, you could have this recording during the 15-minute check-in session. I would record the transcript so it's real simple, right? Don't waste a bunch of time. And now when you get to your next one-on-one, your coaching session, you can go back to your AI assistant and be like, hey, how did that last one-on-one go? And what do we need to do to prepare for this next one? Because who can think about what our last coaching session was one-on-one 7 days ago? Who can think about the coaching session from 2 months ago? Who's keeping a documentation of their coaching sessions with their sales team and then sending them a recap? It's not that we don't want to, it's about, do we even have the time to do it? But now that we have an assistant that can help us have the time to do it, now there's no reason not to do it. Right? I'm just gonna breathe for a second. I get a little hype, but I'm doing my best to be a little bit more calmer in 2026, and just like because I love leaders, I love the game, and helping people and assisting them. So I just want to make sure I don't come off too crazy, and you guys be like, this guy's just getting out, it's just all over the place. But if you're following along, these are great questions as leaders we should be asking, and if we're not asking them, then we definitely should if we don't know the answers to these. Next, what's the fastest way to improve results without hiring? Whew. Keep your people. Man, one of the hardest things, just being transparent. Shouldn't even say this, but I'm going to say it. 3 or 4 months ago, I posted and said that 2025 is going to be the last year of doing a lot of in-store training and coaching a lot of salespeople. And it was really a tough post to write. Like, I actually did it. It wasn't just some chat GPT post or AI, but it hurt because I've been coaching since I was 17 years old. Coach Castillo, thank you for allowing me to be the first, coaching in basketball. And it just kept going with me and then into leadership. And then Mr. Vines allowed me to be a coach, and Jim Pimp, so many people. But the reason why I had to put kind of like a pause on a ton of in-store training and all this other stuff is because my business model is so, it's not even a business model, it's my personal thing. There's nothing worse sometimes than when I spend time really investing into people and they end up having massive success from it. Like, they're doing the videos, they're doing the social media, they're closing 25% of their opportunities. Salesperson's posting on me on social media, sending me videos of their vision board and yeah, we did it. But what hurts is so many times in 2025 that those people didn't make it past a month, 2, 3 months. And then they'd follow up with me and be like, that place was, they don't do any of the things that you're talking about. Like, the leaders don't even know what you're talking about. They're like, just get with Durant. And there was this disconnect between the leaders and the salespeople turning over. And I feel like so much of my energy and the love that I give was being wasted because people are turning over left and right, because the real opportunity is leaders leaning into their people and having a system that helps them keep their people. Because my training and coaching is trash if people are turning over at 40 to 50% of the dealership. And it's the same thing for you as a leader. I'm sure you feel this. Some of you, it hurts. You train, you coach, and you pour into your people, and they turn over. We got to fix that. So how do we do it? Give them a better system. Give them the tools that they need to be successful. If somebody's great on video, give them the tools and the system that helps them be great on video. If somebody's good on just voice, give them the tools to make sure that they're good on voice. Coach them up, guide them up, have a career path plan for them. Ask them, where are you trying to go with this, right? But to improve the results with hiring is just leaning and coaching and training more into your people, following a system that guides them. Don't ask them to work harder, but ask them to work smarter. Use these tools that you have available that we can use as a leader. They should be using them as well. And do your coaching sessions, your one-on-one, give feedback and let them give you some feedback. Create a culture, right? Have a video-like culture. I've yet to see a dealership fail that gets video consistently to their customers and to each other. Show me one. I've yet to see a store that has a general manager that says, I'm going to record this one just for fun. Right? I've yet to see a store that has something like this going on in their culture. Hey, what's going on? Hey, how's it doing, fam? Hey, I want to say thank you so much for yesterday. It was so good. We had a record day. We had 11 appointments set, so much better than we had the day before. I want to encourage you all to keep it going. I'm here for you. Hey, let's keep sending those videos out. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Keep going, y'all. Boom. Right? 18-second video goes out to the team, and then now you got sales reps getting out content. Now you've got sales reps using AI and assistant to help them keep up with the madness of the day, right? It's all a trickle down from the top. It's the worst thing that I can hear a leader say is like, them people, they terrible. They're lazy. They trash. And I'm like, man, you talk about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's like me bashing my kids. If I bash my kids, say he's trash, he's not good, it's me. It's a reflection of me. What's the biggest mistake leaders make with process? So a lot of times what will happen is let's go to a story, like a real life story. I'll give you an example. A store last year put in an AI system to help work their customers. I'll give you because the leaders thought my sales team is terrible at handling internet leads. So I'm going to get this AI company to focus on handling the internet leads. So all my sales team has to do is call customers. Anybody tried something like that before? You just frustrated because maybe you don't have a BDC or the BDC's not working as well and your sales team's not trained. So you're like, I'm just going to have AI do it. We'll be okay. The problem is in this story, so I'll keep it going, they get this AI in there. Well, the AI is getting a lot of engagement. The AI company is killing it. Like I'm doing an excellent job. Getting engagement, customers. Hey, would you like to come in or did you want to speak with a representative? The customer says, I want to speak with a representative. AI says, great, I'll get you over to somebody, and all this stuff is going on. But the salespeople never saw it. Leaders didn't even know what to do with it because nobody was coached on the system and nobody was even setting up a culture for what is it even like to work along with an AI agent or an AI assistant. What does the culture that look like? So that's one of the areas of we make a mistake because we're focused on the end result, but we're not focused on the process. Does that make sense? We get the AI because the goal is I want more cars sold. I agree with that. And AI will help with that. But the part that we make the mistake on with this question is we don't focus on the process that goes in with the AI. What does this look like what's inside the CRM? How many people are going to communicate? Who is actually going to make the call now? Okay, when the request comes in, is the AI going to make the first outreach? Or are we going to have 5 different people reaching out to our customers? This is really happening. I've audited so many stores where you put in a request and you hear from a BDC, a salesperson, a manager, and a GM. 4 people in less than 4 days. 4 different people. All saying different things, by the way. So this is where my heart goes so much into this industry, because if we're not careful with how we roll all this technology out to our automotive consumers, they're going to leave us. You know what I mean, right? Like they're going to leave us to the Carvanas. They're going to leave to anything that eliminates them having to deal with any kind of human or dealership because they feel so much friction with the process. They'd rather just get it on Amazon with nobody on board. And I'm not saying that's a terrible thing, but I don't think it should happen because of the friction of the process. That's my problem. And I'm not frustrated right now. I hope somebody doesn't feel that. It's just my heart coming out about I enjoy this industry. Been in it since I was 17 years old. I'm 41, so more than half my life, right? And to know the failures that I've had and successes that I've had and seen so many other people have way more success even than I have, to know that all that could come to an end someday just because experience wasn't delivered at the highest level for a customer, because people weren't held accountable. It's all back to our process and our system. It's our playbook, right? And so the 3 things I had here is the biggest mistake leaders make is processes without explanation, process without accountability. That's one of the top reasons why it's me training a bunch of salespeople all the time. It's almost a waste because a lot of them need help. 20% of them don't need help. 80% of them, they need to be held accountable. And you know who always wants to get trained? The top 20%. The bottom 80%, they're not really wanting that. It's crazy, but I'm just telling you. So process without accountability. And the last one is process without humanity, which is meaning like we're trying to remove the human out and we're just trying to focus on the bots. Does not work. So I want to encourage you when we think about what's the biggest mistakes we make, the answer to this is communication. Second is clear accountability, right? And the third one is to over-deliver on experience and let your people be the highest versions of themselves. You do these 3 things, it's impossible to fail in 2026. It's impossible. Communication is probably the hardest thing for especially a large dealership to get across. But even my small ones, communication is so key, and it's got to be quick. Last question, what does great leadership look like in 2026? I'm going to give you 3. It's coaching over just demanding what people want. Make your place fun to come into, man. Like a lot of dealerships, I'm sure y'all feel this, you're around your people more than you're around your own family. So make it great, right? Second thing is systems over stress. So you want to make sure that you have a dialed in system all the time. So then that way, if the system's broken, you know how to fix it. If you don't have a system, your months are going to be like this in 2026. It's going to go up. January's decent. February's okay. March goes up. April goes down. And you're like, this is seasonal. It's not seasonal. It's seasonal because you don't have a system. When you have a system, you'll see the best stores that have a system, they just keep climbing. So having a system within your CRM, how you use technology, how you handle your internet customers, your phone customers, your walk-in. When's the last time you revisited that in your playbook? You know what I mean? Last thing is just be calm. As leaders, there's been so much added to leaders in the last few years, so much stress. I've seen so many great general managers, sales managers leave the automotive industry because so much is getting put on top of us, right? And my goal in 2026, one of the biggest goals is to remove as much friction from every leader, owner, operator across the world. And it's going to happen. I said it publicly, but it's already, we didn't already establish that in the last quarter of 2025 with what we've got coming out. So I'm geeked. This was a fun show just to be really impromptu and go through some common questions that I hear to give some light and some love back to the industry because I hadn't jumped on a show in a minute. Just let people hear my voice and let them know that I'm here. So I want to finish it with one line that I want to challenge every leader that's listening to this is let this be the year that you lead in an uncomfortable manner. I'll say it again. Let this be the year that you lead in an uncomfortable manner. Straight up just vulnerable, right? Get uncomfortable. If you hadn't done video as a leader, do that. If you hadn't done 100% TO as a leader, do that. If you hadn't dialed into your CRM and you don't really know it and you want to know technology, do that. All of us, myself included on this show, we all have something that's extremely uncomfortable that we need to do. We know we need to do it, but we're not doing it. Right? We already know what we need to do. And I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge myself. I'll give you one. Personal, I'm only drinking water for 2026. I publicly announced it. Gosh. So now if you ever catch me drinking anything else, you can be like, dude, you remember on that one show you said you were only drinking water for 2026? Let's see what happens. But that's my plan. Why? Why water? Clarity. Clear. I want all 2026 to be clear. Clarity. Right? So what are you going to get clear on? So much gratitude. Thank you so much sharing your time with me. Hey, hit me up. If you want to get better on this tech stuff, you want to see how to evolve it into leaders, or you want to just talk, no pitch, I'm here. I appreciate you. So much gratitude. Let's go 2026. Let's have some fun. Be great. Gratitude. Gratitude. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. It's always great, and I thank you for it. So if you could do me a big favor, fam, if you want more videos like this, please like, subscribe, comment, share this out. And hey, if you want to see something different or if you have some feedback for me, send me a message. Love to hear back from you. But until then, thank you all. Keep winning. Be well.